a couple of things we should go through before we go into this game. You should already, like, I've already seen it, already know the result. You know, you should know the result as well. Just a small hiccup, hopefully an isolated incident. The series was all three games. Did not cast this one, so I get a unique view on it. But the way like I set up for games is I always go through GOL. The way I look back on games is I go to GOL. Yeah, it's spoilers. It would be right. BLG as a team in the past have always looked towards Meteor for like the counter jungle pick or like a very strong jungler. Now, the irony here in this matchup, before I go on, is that Chieftain used to be on BLG. It's like out with the old, in with the new. Of course, Kingen's on this roster now, if you haven't already noticed. Kingen was from KT in the previous year. And FoFo from LMS from J-Team. So, FoFo came in when Kuro left as well, unfortunately. Kuro left and went back over. What's he on now? Didn't he go to KT as well? I feel like they just did a swap back and forth. Jinjiao and Shinmo. Shinmo came in at the end of summer. Jinjiao has been there since the IMA days as well. And Meteor, as you know, started last year. Last year was his rookie year as a jungler in the LPL, and he looked fucking great. He's already looked pretty good as well. I will say that I think Meteor has been like damn right consistent too. I don't like how they've changed this. So let's go to game one. Don't give me just the fucking logos. Give it bigger. Give it to me bigger. Okay, that's alright. They're not giving me pick order though. They're not giving me pick order anymore. Okay, that's alright. We're going to go in the game anyway and see it. But just so you know, going into this first game, I was like, BLG for sure. Vici Gaming, it's a progression kind of thing. Vici, I expect to be good by the end of spring, if not by the start of summer moving into Worlds. Vici is progress, because you have to look at who Vici are. Cube only came into the Vici Gaming lineup when he was 18. He turned 18 last summer, got his debut game against Invictus Gaming, and you know what? Like, mechanically is a very good top laner. However, I will say that Cube right now doesn't have the same coordination that maybe Kingen or, you know, like some of the better, more experienced top laners have at this point. And that's fair. He's still very, very young. I'm going to Alt-Tab and make sure this is still going. Yeah, we're good. Chieftain, like, probably the most experienced on this roster alongside iBoy. Or you'd even say Maestro as well. Remember that Maestro was on LNG last year as well. A bit of a Thresh, like, one trick at certain points. And then Forge. We should all know Forge. Forge was the mid laner who replaced Rookie when Rookie had to go back to Korea to be with his family. So Forge was hyped up as the big rookie, and to be fair, I think he's performing better than most rookies are. However, it's much like Cube, where it's more about time. So you're looking at the solo lanes of Vici Gaming, and what you're saying is that their experience does not hold up to even Kingen. Well, I mean, Kingen back and forth. Like, let's have a quick look. I want to make sure this is right, because my knowledge of Kingen is limited to his KT experience, right? Now, we're only going to get... Look. Okay, so LCK Summer 2018. Let's go back. I could use Gamepedia, but I think this is fine as well. iBoy is a monster, you're right, but I haven't seen the proper iBoy, I think, that we saw in EDG. Okay, so KT versus SKT. So, Kingen was the sub-top, right? If we go to LCK Summer 2019, let's see how many games he actually played. Okay, so a fair bit. So, at least last year, in summer, I didn't watch many KT games. Call me guilty. I did not have time to watch KT Rolster versus Jin Air Green Wings, which was the opening game. So Kingen has played a fair amount in LCK. And the reason this is important is because it's experience in a pro environment versus someone like Cube, who hasn't had that same depth of experience. Like, you look at Kingen here, even in spring, at least he got to play in the LCK versus teams like, you know, Damwon at the time, like a Freak of Freaks, you know, King Zone. Like, that is solid experience. Chin Hair sad plane. I know, they will be missed. But the point out of this is that that Kingen still has the breadth of experience versus Cube, who does not. And the thing is, in that lane, like, I give the lane matchup to Kingen. I give FoFo over Forge, purely because FoFo has had that same experience while being in the LMS. It's still J-Team experience. Jin Jiao's been around for fucking ages, but iBoy, I'd, you know, give this lane to. And Shinmo versus Maestro, I mean, Maestro has more experience as well. People underestimate the experience factor in the LPL purely because it's such a big stage, and purely because in the LPL things move so fast that experience needs to come into it. And you see those better experienced players, you see the people that are more confident on stage perform better. That's natural. That's going to happen anywhere. So, wanted to bring that up because, like, the solo lanes of Billy Gaming are downright stronger, and also international experience, right? International experience. Hopefully he gets international experience. International experience! But anyway, that's my point. So, let's kind of work our way through this. That's kind of fun, because mid lane is the one you expect to go here. We'll get straight into it, because BLG in the series, I would say, as the Sheen talks super fast. Are we still here? Yeah, we're still here. Feels good. We're going to full screen this. So, in this series, we're looking mid. Now, you have iBoy, but iBoy versus Jin Jiao is kind of exciting, but FoFo versus Forge, because of the hype that was placed behind Forge, welcome back, sir. Behind the hype that was placed on Forge in the IG season, and because FoFo is the new entrant here, you kind of like, aha, thank you, sir. I need to change that. Because of the expectations in mid, this is the lane you're focusing on, but also remember that Chieftain versus Meteor is a really fun narrative, purely because the narrative behind jungle in this series is all from Chieftain once upon a time being on BLG, from Meteor being the new jungler, the new face of BLG. When we wrote our narratives for Billy Gaming, we went, who is the star player of this roster? We went through, and technically it's Jin Jiao, because he's kind of the legacy player. He's the one that's been there the longest. But the person that our eyes go to is Meteor, because he had that 2019 season fresh out of the gate, which was up there with Casa. Who else we got? It wasn't XX. Give me a jungler. SOFM wasn't there. With Ning in his highlights. With IGRNG, Top Esports. How dare I, Tien. So with those three junglers, we went up there, and Ning got bumped down when he shifted in summer, when Ning started playing horribly and inconsistent as all hell. We threw up Meteor, because Meteor has this innate ability to have a perfect read on the enemy jungle, usually, which is, you'll find curious in this game, which is, I don't think I really got the best out of Meteor here. Now let's talk LPL pick and ban, right? Why not FoFo? That Meteor isn't great, but feel like FoFo is the standout. Well, the thing is, FoFo had a good series, right? FoFo did have a good series against Forge. And this is what I was talking about before. With experience purely on the table, FoFo has it over Forge. But also the depth of talent. I think Forge has a higher ceiling from what I've seen of him in the past. But FoFo has been in a league where the pace is 100% slower. Remember, the LMS in the past has been one of the slowest leagues in the world, where the depth of talent doesn't extend as wide as deep as the LPL, where FoFo himself hasn't actually been up against rougher competition. It's great that he's tested against Forge. Tonight against RNG, if Xiaohu is is enabled, if Xiao, because it should be Betty, right? Like, I haven't looked at the rosters yet, but it should be Betty. Yeah, LPL last year was hype. Dude, LPL every year is fucking hype as. But when he goes up against Xiaohu tonight, look and see what FoFo is like in lane, and look and see if that same strength is exerted as we'll see in this matchup here. FoFo had a great game against Vici, great series, but that's one series. I look at it and I go, that's one series. We haven't seen one of BLG yet. Their first series, Vici took them all the way, which was more of a call out towards BLG being overly safe and not just finishing the fucking game. Like, they made a monkey error here, so caution spoilers. E-Star is a surprise as well. We should do a FPX E-Star VOD review at some point. But let's have a talk here about the S tier to B tier pick and bans. Right now, the must ban on red side, like no matter what, people have been going S tier is Aphelios. Aphelios has been 100% pick ban in every game of the LPL. I don't even need to look at the stats. I can tell you right now, 100% pick ban Aphelios. And then you go down the list of like Akali has been red side priority ban. And then we see usually one of the AD carries, because of the ability of Lucian to be flexed in the LPL towards the solo lanes. Like Flandre's done it in the past. I mean, Flandre was, you know, what did they call him? Something gun. Dual gun. They called Flandre something many years ago. But Lucian's ability to be flexed. But then you look across the board and you're like, okay, what other 80 carries have been priority? Senna's found her way on the red side first ban list. And you kind of stop there, because after that, after we go through Senna, Aphelios, in the bottom lane, what else have we been seeing? Kaiser's come back out. We haven't seen any Xayah. We've literally just seen, like, Misfortune. Sorry, Misfortune has been more a blue side ban, I would say. Because no one's willing to... I'll take that back. Been a red side ban. Now, the reason I hesitate on this is because it kind of depends what people are going for. For a Vici Gaming here, like, I wouldn't be surprised to see either a Misfortune first pick or Fiddle ban. Like, because iBoy has literally just been playing Misfortune. It's kind of funny where you look at every other AD carry and sure, they're going to pick up Misfortune naturally because that's what the meta sits at right now. But iBoy, no matter what, has been like, I want Misfortune. More so than any other AD carry. Before we go into pick and bans, just have a note that Pantheon has been, like, majority ban as well. The only Pantheon I think we've seen so far in the split, in Demacia Cup and the start of the split, has been from RNG at Demacia Cup, with Xiaohu picking it up in their first game in groups. But apart from that, it's been like, first game in groups or first game in semi-finals. One of the two. Rumble has seen a huge rise in the LPL. Like, massive rise. Like, it's come up out of nowhere, I feel. The virus ban as well. We'll see what Vici do. Because pick and ban... Oh, you fucking cheeky guys. Pick and ban... Okay, well, look, Misfortune makes sense. Pick and ban has become super telegraphed in this patch. Like, 10.1 has been super telegraphed. Elise, another great red side ban, by the way. Meteor played a hell of a lot of Elise last year, but also it just suits his style. Remember, I talk about the dueling of Meteor. I talk about Meteor kind of playing aggressive and, like, being very calculated with his invades. Elise enables that. Senna's the only other AD carry open. Must take. She provides a ton of autonomy in early lane, so it makes sense. You can't walk up on MF and Phyllis, but you and like every other ADC, yeah. Look, the thing about MF and Aphelios and even Senna is their ability to counter bad trades is fucking high. If you mistrade with Misfortune, like, let's say you're a Pyke. You're not going to see this in LPL, but let's put this out there. If you're a Pyke and you miss Bone Skewer on an MF, she throws down Make It Rain. If she has ult, she'll bullet time, right? If you haven't used your dash. She trades back harder, and her burst trades are insane. Aphelios the same with Calibrum, and like if you get in close range, Severum. Gravitum is huge to counter trades. Like, yeah, if you don't pick zoning, you get all in 24/7. That's right. So 380 carries at the moment. You see the Lucian ban, remember, that is a flex. More so than anything, would never expect to see in the bottom lane is the ability for it to flex. Chieftain, big time Gragas on BLG back in the day. I'd rather see Ike's here. I'm just saying this now. I think Ike's high ceiling. Vici's lineup is about the ceiling. Chieftain, I just don't know where he stands. Zoning AoE team fighting champs. That's right. J4 Kiana gets played for obvious reason. It's the ability to kind of combo in. They can counter each other in fights as well. Like, the amount of times I've seen fucking Chinese Javans and Kianas run into each other is hilarious. Forge, the only person playing Jace right now. This is an interesting pick because you picked this super early on. You know this is going to Forge. Now, the reason that I think this is always dangerous is because, like, the ability for Jace wins pretty much every lane. Correct me if I'm wrong. Tanaso, I look at you because I know you're a high elo player, you're a coach in the past. Jace wins out a lot of his fucking lane matchups. And mid lane for Jace, like, you look at the combo, at least pairing with, you know, you see what's open, like the Kiana's still open. We know he's gonna pick it, right? We had a sneak tease. But for Forge, he's the only one picking Jace. This is a personal preference pick. This is his own, I guess, pocket pick at the moment. Because no one else is even considering this. And the reason that Forge likes it so much is because his best games on IG, because he's played so fucking much. Yeah, that's right. There's no lane, doesn't get it with jungle pressure. Gragas in the 2v2 looks good. Brom's risen as well. We'll go through this. We'll let them pick. We'll get through this a bit faster. Brom has been the natural go-to. Remember, Brom against Misfortune. Fantastic. Brom also is a great pick right now against Ornn. Like, Ornn has risen through the ranks. And especially when you look at this composition and you go, alright, well, do you need a front line here? How does Cube fit into the equation? Brom is a great denial, so they can start. They don't need to ban out Ornn here. You immediately go for the other A tier picks, and that'll bring me into it when we get into the second bans. The other A tier picks right now, and especially in the top lane, Mordekaiser's fucking dumb at the moment. Mordekaiser is such a good champion at the moment, and actually Nautilus made its way to the second ban phase, which is weird. But then again, when you already set yourself up in draft for Brom Senna. Like, BLG, I mean, that bottom lane's fine. You take away Nautilus, and I go, what else do we have? Top lane bans against Kingen. I mean, BLG here can literally just go, okay, well, here comes Kiana. I haven't seen Meteor play Silas yet. So they've left top lane, they've left it for top lane counter pick. Which is what I love here, is the fact that, like, Kingen still has a lot of champions to play. Now, I'm telling the future because I know what Kingen's going to play. But you look up here and you go, well, Vici probably want to line this out with something that complements the Gragas. Leona's the only thing left available that sits in the top 3. Unless Maestro wants to go back to Thresh. Right? Oh my god, it is. You should have told me. You should have told me. Move this here. What does that do? What's up there? Ooh! Nice. How's that? No, that's picking bans! You guys suck. Why don't you tell me next time? Put me there. Put me there. Right. Let's talk picking bans that I've been taking from you the whole time. I've been fucking denying you picking bans the whole time. Right. Camille is disgusting right now. I mean, you're right. Like Camille right now, I don't know why I dislike her so much, but she sits in a sour taste. You're picking Ornn here. You're trying to pick a weak side top lane because you look at this. Look. Jace mid, Misfortune and Leona bot lane. Like, you're pretty comfortable with how your lanes are set out for Vici. But now you need to pick a weak side top laner. And in the LPL, when we talk about weak side top lanes, like, your mind should be going towards the likes of Gimgoon And Gimgoon Lung Xing is a great example where their whole champion pool was based on how they play the weak side top and who they play it with. At this point in time, Ornn, Renekton, who's another good weak side top laner. I'm talking top laners that have the ability to survive dives, have the ability to kind of counterplay, and also can handle the pressure of wave constantly being at their turret. Ornn has fit in so nicely into the meta, especially because, remember, with Heralds spawning twice, with Dragon Souls coming up, there are faster games, right? Like, Kennen, good one. Kennen's another one, right? The ability for them to survive topside is great, but then you have to think about the champion. What does Ornn provide in a team composition? No matter what, if Ornn falls behind, eventually he's going to catch up and give everyone a fucking buffed item, right? Molten Edge for the misfortune. You know, you're going for Essence Reaver. We've seen Infinity Edge. We've gone into, what have we gone into after that? Like, even see the Rapid Fire Cannon added. He'd bring the Ram. Yeah, he'd bring the Ram. So naturally, BLG are like, what's our winning lane? There you go. What's our winning lane? So, that's a fucking harsh lane, right? Fiora loves tank matchups. Fiora loves it. Lives in it, breathes in it. Grand Challenge, Vitals. It's easy, right? And then I look at their strengths here and I go, okay, where are the windows? Because right now teams are drafting, and Tanasu, correct me if I'm wrong, teams are really drafting around what seems like early dragon fights and the ability for these 1 to 2 item champions to kind of wreak havoc. Jace a great example. Miss Fortune right now is a fucking fantastic example. Kiana's lethality item because she goes Umbral Glaive a lot of the time as well. Like the Yomu's Dustblade, Umbral, depending on what their lethality wants to do. Miss Fortune is side lane on 2 items with Trinity Force and Ravenous a lot of the time. Like, a lot of these champions spike with their first or second item easily. And everyone spikes with 1 or 2 items, but like a severe spike. The ability to fight around dragons right now is super important. Hence why you're seeing very strong 1, 2 item 80 carries. I mean, like, the bot side is a much needed strength right now. Dragon Souls are too overpowered. The first 20 minutes of the game are more influential than ever, even though turret plating's gone down to 120. Average game time is 23 minutes. Your top needs to survive being abandoned and still be useful. Your mid needs to push out and roam. Bot needs to go ham on a push. Jungler needs fast clear and good counter. There you go. Average game time is short. Dragon Souls are important. So immediately, like, first of all, move me. Where can I go that's not in the way? Bottom left, I think. How about here? Is that good? I fucking hate display capture. I wish I could do window capture. I need another screen just there. Okay. I'm going to do that. You don't need to see people's face. You don't need to see. You can see part of their faces. Okay, we're just going full bottom left. Alright. Anyway, I digress. Get the kinks out early. You'll notice a lot of centers. Glacial Augment. There's 2 big rune pages at the moment for center. It is Dark Harvest. It is Glacial Augment. People, when Klepto disappeared, moved away from Fleet Footwork. I think there's a period. I don't know if they're still going. Correct me if I'm wrong again. But Glacial Augment and the ability to latch onto people. Chaining a CC. When you have Dawning Shadow. I told you. I knew. When you have Dawning Shadow, or Last Embrace, I think it's called. When you get the root down, you queue in, auto. The slow, the stun, like the piling on of crowd control from center is just great. Glacial Augment fits us so well. And then from memory, we're doing Presence of Mind. We're doing Presence of Mind? No, we're doing Triumph, are we? Can't remember. Electrocute Jace lane. Electrocute Kiana lane. There's no question about... I mean, everything else is pretty normal. Press the attack, of course, Misfortune, which is taking the moment. Guarantees a stack every time. Yeah. Pretty amazing. So, what we're looking for is jungle pathing here. Because it's a blue side bottom start, it's a blue top side start here for Chieftain. They're on opposite sides of the map. And the ward dropped from what we saw earlier on, if we go back. Look at the warding here from... So... Weird that Maestro attacks that. Okay, alright. So, he's trying to... That's okay, I shouldn't laugh. That's actually smart. That's actually fucking smart. Vision ends where? Ward gone. They didn't see that. Maestro's idea was to fake a leash here on red and make BLG think they're starting. And the pings do come down, so I think it worked. So, his idea, as Vision clears, is make... Yeah, that's right. Make Meteor think that Vici are starting red side. Now, other wards on the map that are crucial is set up here towards red to see if the vertical jungling comes through. Because remember what we talked about, that BLG's topside priority is massive. Like, Kingen is going to win that lane. Meteor has a lane to fucking constant gank. Yeah, you don't get all in by the early. It's the most important part, right? Meteor starts blue. They don't know where topside is. So Cube actually gave a leash. Cube gave a leash to Chieftain. And that's why pings from Kingen actually kind of resets the mindset of Meteor here. Meteor thinks now that, okay, Gragas is probably topside. Even though the fake leash comes through, I think the bluff doesn't pass because Cube spent so long and comes to lane missing the tiniest bit of HP. The tiniest bit. So, what I take out of that is that Meteor's back on track. Pretty smart, pretty easy realization from Kingen that his top laner wasn't there. And so he goes, alright, cool. I can now go for mid. But Forge is positioning here. Okay, Cocoon misses. Messy. Okay. The Cocoon... You wish the Cocoon landed here. Chieftain really underestimated FoFo. He just autoed him to death. It was a nice time flash from Meteor. Meteor really saved. Meteor flashed at the last moment as well. Because at this point, Ignite's dropped by Forge. Shock Blast misses. Chieftain then goes, oh shit. Nice repel. Chieftain just that extra second of working forward. Dude, Crying and Wink were insane, you're right. Showed means crying should have stayed. Well said. That was just kind of irregular from Chieftain. And this is what I mean, like Meteor versus Chieftain. old versus a new. Chieftain makes a lot of these very easy to spot mistakes. Meteor saved his flash for the end, but that was very greedy. The counter gank already came through. They could have waited for the repel and just walked away. But they thought they could get Meteor and trade it. But now FoFo suddenly gets a shove mid. He has first blood. And Meteor stayed alive. I think Meteor kept clearing. Yeah. Meteor survived. He didn't back. He went up to red. And then he goes into topside river. The Elise wins the counter gank every time. I mean that too. And he goes for topside scuttle. So, Meteor has full control. Meteor has a level advantage. Meteor has control of topside. Whereas meanwhile, Chieftain has no flash. So does Meteor. But I'd argue that's bigger. And they bring Meteor up from bottom lane to try and attack mid once again. Now, as Hysterics has just done, and I do speak of myself in the third person, he's pressed a weird button on his keyboard that brought him back to a different time. This is where we were. So, they try to attack mid again. Because if the Kiana roams, like, bot or top, volatile as fuck. Right? Spidey goo. As long as you land the Spidey goo. Again. So, Chieftains clears a ward. He knows he's spotted. He's still here. Maestro's here. He feels comfortable. But they know that the support and bottom side's not missing anyway. So, they're prone to getting sandwiched here. This is bad decision making from Vici Gaming. And Forge is like, what do you want me to do? You know that mid lane has the shove. Chieftain can't get help from Forge either. So I think this is just a stupid decision. Maestro jumps in, but I just don't think that was good decision making. I think that was tunnel vision to getting mid ahead so much. Sorry, I'm just going to double check. I think that was just tunnel vision to getting mid ahead so much. I'm very cautious about my stream. That their oversight was, well, mid shoved out. It's insanely greedy. That's right. Mid was shoved. You have no priority mid. And you look across the board. Meteor has a level advantage, which is another oversight. Look at the bottom side river. They had vision on him the full time. And even though FoFo hasn't backed, Forge is at half health. Forge has hardly any mana. He can send out a shock blast and then that's it. So I think for Chieftain, like, first play was him staying too long, was him thinking he could tussle in the 2v2. Instead of just taking the disengage, why are you even here? Well said. So, yeah, I don't know. And now you've set up mid jungle. So when we set the 2v2 for Vici Gaming, like, at 6, especially when Chieftain gets cask, like, okay, mid 2v2, quite decent. But the power release early, as mentioned by Tanasu, it's always fucking amazing. As soon as Kingen gets 6 here, he Gucci. Trust me. Trust me, Fiormain. Well, then Meteor comes top anyway. And that Cocoon land. Oh. Now that's a nice play. Look at this Cocoon. Oh my god. Oh, what? That's bullshit. Look at that hit. Dude, that minion. That minion is like a millisecond too slow. And then from here, look, Meteor backed. Here's Amplifying Tome. Here's Chilling Smite. You're not getting out of that. And the beauty of this early game is that you look at the kill spread. I know it's something that doesn't really get talked about. That minion's fine. Minion tracked down to hit Fiora. True. Very true. It's a good point. So minions hit. Ah. Okay, I'm with you. Hang on. So you're saying... Did it though? I think it's just timing. The other minions were tracked to hit him, if that's what you mean. For BLG RNG today, I put in I put a BLG 2-1. Fiora made it move down. Look, I'll take your word. I'm gonna get past this point. I'll take your word for it. I saw range minions. Range minions toggled for her. I mean, she did push Ornn into the minion way. Yeah. It was clean goo. Clean fucking goo. So, already, Meteor's been in the right place at the right time. We talked about that early leash from Maestro, the fake leash. But it was Cube leashing onto the blue buff. Which then set up Kingen to realize, okay, top lane's not there. Meteor had the read. And then he went towards bottom side river to make the immediate level 3 gank. Like, he hit 3, went towards bottom side river, and Chieftain, finishing his top side camps, then moved in from turret, was late, forced the flash out of Meteor, but then overcommitted. So, while Chieftain was also, like, having a good read, Meteor has been the better jungler. This is why the narrative has been about Meteor, because Meteor is quite an intelligent jungler. He's like 19 years old, so he's got so much longer to go. But now we're like, okay, cool. Got an Infernal. Scuttle's reset topside. FoFo is freed up now. There's a Tiamat on both top and mid. FoFo has the shove in mid because right now the Jace actually just can't walk up to Forge. There's so much wave clear. Well, he's playing reactionary because he's been forced out early. Because he's now 2 levels behind. And look, I mean, like, Chieftain... He kind of looks lost. So what's the play here? They have no information. They actually have no information. There's no wards blue side. And instead of getting the read, instead of realizing this, they try and hit mid again. But Meteor's coming top, so this is where the jungler's shown, so they should be hitting mid. So he's dead. Cube's dead again. What happens mid? Nothing. FoFo pulls back. So Chieftain goes, alright, Dragon. At this point in the game, for the Fiora, I take the kill trade, 150%. Plus he got a bit of turret plating from the looks of it as well. Yeah. I mean, the Jace literally just wants to push and push. But there is so much wave clear on FoFo now. There is no control for mid. They're trying to regain vision. And you're right, the vision denial from BLG has been pretty spot on. Especially towards the bot side. Shinmo has constantly been roaming up, just controlling the river. Like, this part here, Shinmo, look at his level. Like, this is the thing. This is the thing about Shinmo as a support on not Yuumi that I can respect. Is the guy doesn't roam much, but it's simply about clearing vision in the river. These whole, like, 8 minutes, Shinmo has been out of lane, say, 3-4 times, either responding to Maestro and his roam through the river we saw before, or vision denial. Clearing the river. He's had really good control. And now he's back when you need him. Okay, so we saw, like, look, there's the power of make it rain, damage, but then, no. That's the power of Brom. Fucking Brom versus Misfortune versus Ornn. Watch Shinmo this game. Okay, Meteor is still 2 levels ahead. Meteor stole blue, went topside, backed. When they saw the gank, they saw that. When they saw the gank, Chieftain goes, okay, cool. He's got blue. Went in towards blue side. Comes up now. Bottom side gank doesn't work. So he's clearing vision. All in was used, and they're not confident to go to blue buff. FoFo's there as a reaction. Picks up Mobies. So they're even faster. He has Mobies and Tiamat versus double longsword. And the cloth bag boots. For Forge. Blue for FoFo. Nothing for Forge. He has got no bits of turret plating. Jace is not winning this lane. Double checking. Good, we're still here. Jace is 10 CS behind. Right? Now, this for Vici, I don't mind. Like, they need to speed... it feels like they really need to speed this game up. So they've rotated early. So this is good from the bottom lane. Bottom lane rotate for Rift Herald, and we've seen this many times in the LPL. In fact, out of any region, if you look across, LPL is the one that does it the fastest and prioritizes it the most. Before Rift Herald was changed, and even now, this play is all about rotating your bottom lane topside, getting priority over the Rift Herald, and accelerating this game. So, now the question is, do BLG want to challenge? And you can see, look how far center is away, but then again, always got to take into account the oh, fuck her ult. What's her ult? Piercing Darkness, Last Embrace, Dawning Shadow is her ult. Dawning Darkness, Dawning Shadow. Something related to the darkness. So Senna still has an input with her ult. Chieftain. Oh my god. So Chieftain's been tanking this, which is fine, but he took the ultimate attack. So they've just lost I mean, Chieftain's low. I don't know what Chieftain's doing this game, but it ain't great. Pig Snipe 420. Kingen's coming in. Kingen is big. FoFo and Shinmo together. Don't worry about 80 carry. Now look at Forge. They have vision control here. As soon as Forge makes the move to the brush, they see him. You're looking towards the Jace for the Shock Blast combo. But they have to give up control of the river. Jin Jiao's now in. And that's just given over. Meteor is so far ahead. He's got himself his AP item already. And as soon as they show up, as soon as they react, they just have to leave. So, even without Chieftain taking that damage, I'd say that they'd still back away. But this early game's in the dumpster. That's 3,000 gold at 10 minutes. And you don't even look at the Infernal. The Infernal's only 4% for AP and AD now. You want the Infernal Soul is what I'd ever look at. And look at this reset. Their priorities are good. BLG is a smart team. He ganked himself into a hole. Look at the CS and experience. I know. The thing is, like, I'm not sure what Chieftain's pathing is in the jungle. But look at this. This is beautiful. This is great. So, they get Herald. FoFo goes back mid. Helps clear the wave with the bottom lane. Bottom wave goes back to match Misfortune. Right? Because at this point, Kingen could probably outplay the 1v2. I'd say Kingen could probably outplay the 1v2. FoFo sticks around anyway. Maestro's seen leaving. Forge still here. Remember the wave clear right now for FoFo so much better. FoFo is the better mid laner. He sees Forge has no mana. Forge can't match a roam to the top side. Forge has to back. Doesn't have teleport, of course. He has to leave and reset. Chieftain's here for the counter gank, but when FoFo comes in, there's no way. Clean. So clean. Chieftain goes explosive cast to try and save them. Kingen, that was beautiful. That was so damn clean. That was so damn clean. Cube is having a rough time because Meteor owns the map. Now, from here, the big heads up vision, that's right. From here, you look at this, and problem number one is you see Forge with no mana. That's why you see this is free. Even if Chieftain comes in, if Chieftain committed all the way, he'd probably die. They starve them out, then punish when they get hungry. That's right. When BLG know that Vici are in the corner, they push again, right? And Vici are the ones making the mistakes. Vici are the ones that are getting caught out. Meteor is pushing this game along. His decision making is exceptional. And FoFo is actually fitting into this roster really nicely. This is why I said that I think FoFo had a great series. I want to see how they go against a team like RNG. Because if they can do this again, if FoFo can play like alongside Meteor in this capacity, then you get very excited, right? But clean stuff from BLG. I mean, super, super clean. Kingen cannot... He's got Ravenous now in a side lane. He can't be stopped. I mean, Cube, that Bramblevest is going to do hardly anything. Cube can barely match him. Chieftain needs to constantly shadow. Chieftain is 3 levels behind at the moment. And there's no way... Look, across the map, like, the bottom lane has done all they need to do, which is just go even. Mid lane's ahead. Top lane is massively ahead. Jungle is monstrously ahead. They're like, yeah, we finally get a blue buff. But that doesn't matter. Look at BLG. They'll get some armor. Fucking magic resist. They'll get a mountain. And an ocean for a Fiora. Very nice. Okay. Kingen got some nice Fiora. Look at the timing here. The end of the solar flare. Like right on it. Flashes away. Horn was used. Solar flare was used. Ignite was used. Kingen flashes. Summoner's good to get out of Kingen. But how often are they going to be able to repeat that? Hold use bot. Vici Gaming, punish topside. Okay. Feels like one of the first moves. FoFo might... No, he's not caught out because it's Kiana. Heal burn. So what's the next move? Is Meteor set up bottom side? And he's coming in. Vici can get heavily punished for this play if Kingen comes down. But to Vici's credit, for the first time this game, they've got deep coverage of the top side. And they've set themselves up to finally free Cube into a larger lane. So bot side, there's no trade top. Yeah, turret plating, 420, hell yeah. Jin Jiao quietly getting fed as well. Bottom lane got nothing. They're 5,000 gold behind. Meteor's like, fuck it, I'm fed, I'm going to take blue. Umbral Glaive for FoFo. Ravenous was already picked up by Kingen. He's got a Phage now. We got Manamune plus Serrated Dirk. What was I talking about before? Like, the compositions these days around those 1-2 items that can build around dragons and really contest the biggest objective in the game. And even the Double Herald. Games are running quicker. Games are over before they've begun. Because late game scalers like this, well, that's more the advantage of Meteor. But they're getting accelerated by Dragon Souls. They're getting fucking lanes pushed out by Rift Herald. It's amazing that BLG are just fucking walking over Vici in this game 1. Look at where Vici are going. So, Cube's just young. I mean, he can't be in a side lane against Kingen anyway. In the 1v1 with Iceborne and with everything else, with fucking Bramble Vest, he can't deal with it. Yeah. Well, you've seen like every lethality user has been going Umbral Glaive. Because of how good that item is, because of the lethality it gives, the ability to one-shot wards to almost one-shot control wards, and the fact that you still get your AD and everything from it. It's new Duskblade. Like, it's amazing. Good punish from Vici. Finally. You know, like, okay, FoFo being under this wave. Clears wards, heads topside, hits that, runs back, knows he's fucked. Bit greedy. And gives CDR, that's right. And then you get Sweeper and it's just an insult, isn't it? Now, Kingen is going to get this turret. I'll tell you right now. Maybe not. Take it back. Sorry, don't listen to me. But do. Kingen in a side lane needs attention. Cube needs help. But the problem is, if Vici commit resources to the side lane, then you have FoFo and Jinjiao. You have FoFo topside, who's going to be able to shove out. And you have the 3 members of BLG who are just going to push down the turret. Now, granted, it's center. It's not going to go down that quick with a Brom or an Elise as well. But it's just so hard for Vici right now to come back into it. This is where the bleed out starts. Yeah. Look, I think we've seen from 15, no, even 10 minutes, the bleed outs come through. That's a second Herald. People really underestimate. I need to say this. Second Herald is fucking great. Doesn't matter that Herald takes away, 80% of health now. The Rift Herald getting 2 charges is insane. Sorry, 2 Heralds itself. Look at this. I mean, Kingen gets more resources. Topside now up to inhibitor turret. And look, Vici are like, hey, this is such a poor trade. With Gragas and Ornn there, they can save inhibitor. For Ocean. So, I don't know what the game plan is there. Look, Herald gets a charge, that's fine. But with Ornn, with Gragas, well-timed CC, you might even get a kill there, and you stop inhibitor. Or side inner. Yeah, like, absolutely. Double Herald is OP. People saying it's crap. But the sheer amount of gold that you can get from it, from a well-placed Herald, was already great. Now the fact that you can do it twice is... It's like simple math. 2 is better than 1. It rewards good jungle pressure. It rewards good junglers who are in the right place at the right time. I will fast forward through this because I know from here you've already seen it getting strangled out. It's literally center sitting mid. BLG controlling deep side vision on red. And Vici like, okay, at least we know if they go to Baron. But BLG just don't have to. They just don't have to go to Baron. They're insanely far ahead. There you go. There you go. What did I say? Look. And get a free gold. Easy. Brom right now is great. If Ornn is the solution to weak side top laners, to these like 2-item team fighting comps, Then Brom is the devil. Ornn ult down. Cube flashes. Center ults for good measure. And then look, iBoy's still mid. Even BLG like pinging. iBoy's there. So this is free. Okay. Word textbook has been used. And then where do you rotate from here? Mid-outer, for sure. Vici are intent on keeping it up. But then, the side lane's the issue. Forge has to respond to top. Ornn has to respond to bottom. You have 3 members of Vici here. Now, iBoy goes through. Now, this is foolish. Kingen's backing, but they have no idea where Meteor is. FoFo looks like he came in with a killer ult. And look, the bleed out has begun, but... And then what are Forge and Chieftain trying to achieve? I think Chieftain's a problem on this roster. By enchanters, enchanters leave you open to jungle pressure, yeah. That's right. What are you trying to achieve there? Vici had a disappointing start. In Demacy Cup, they ran Ikes. The most wholesome support. That's true, TJ. That's true. Alright. Well, that was just foolish. Yeah, okay. iBoy and Maestro are they're posturing up here because their jungler's there. But at this point, it doesn't matter. In a 3v3, in assuming a 4, like Meteor's fucking... What level is he? He's still 3 levels ahead. Top lane's a level ahead. FoFo's a level behind because he's been leaving lane and destroying Cube the whole game. Jin Zhao has been farming the whole game. He's literally been auto-attacking in fights, and that's it. That's all he has to do. Outer can't be defended. They get that easily. We push forward because look at Kingen and FoFo in the side lane. They can't deal with the 1-3-1 at all. And the range right now of center has gotten so large that Vici Gaming, even walking up to the turret, are going to get punished. Like, iBoy there, that was just interesting. Okay, so they found FoFo. That's good. FoFo dies. Right. That needed to happen a lot earlier in the game. It just seemed like this game, Vici's decision-making was really subpar, and I'd put it down to Chieftain. I don't think Chieftain... I think Chieftain is the core reason that this game went to the shit. Gets punished again and again. It was weird. I mean, look, the thing is... Forge struggled because he was getting bullied by this Kiana mid. And his jungler came in and fucked him up early. If that level 3 gank didn't happen, if they forced the flash out of Meteor and Chieftain just backed away and said, Forge, let's leave. That's it. They greeted for the kill. They thought they could take down Meteor. They could have left it at a summoner for a summoner. And this game would actually, you know, be different. It's that one play in the early game that fucking destroyed Vici Gaming. And you're right, like he just needed to farm. Gragas needed to farm or make his Predator gank probably towards the bot side. Like there was potential for bot side gank. And then like right here, look. I tell you right here, Shinmo won't die. Chieftain goes in. Kingen now flanking. iBoy ults, hits pretty much no one. And Cube runs, he's dead. Clean. Okay. FoFo's dead. But Kingen's huge. Nice. Forge trying to salvage a situation. But Jin Zhao's range right now is the map. So that's game. Starts from an early gameplay. One play shat the bed for Vici. This BLG here, look. Chieftain's alive. Cube's coming alive. iBoy in 10. They're like, no, we can't end. Super safe. Super reserved. Chieftain was trying something here. We don't need to look through it. This is the one defining play coming up that Vici made. Maybe second. Vici like, fuck it. We've got a Baron, they're resetting, let's do it. I like the ambition. But Kingen's like, I don't need to play this anymore. They've all committed. Kiana ult hits 3 or 4. Cube is not tanky in the slightest, and Kingen is done. He's just done. He's sick of the game. It's over. Poor Cube. Yeah, look at the BM from Kingen. They're like, kill iBoy, and then we'll end. That was clean from BLG. Like, that was beyond clean. That's a BLG that we saw at the end of last year. Like, that BLG is easy. It was super easy. I don't think that Vici actually understood what their game plan was coming in. They were so persuaded to make that mid lane gank work at level 3 that after that, everything fell out the window. Which is kind of shit because you expect a team that has Kkoma behind them to be better in the strategy department than maybe say like mechanics. Like, it doesn't seem like Vici, apart from Chieftain, struggle with mechanics. It seems like they just struggle with coordination. And that's what happens with a new team. But they had Demacia Cup, so very curious. Stream's still going? Yes, it is. Yes, lag, my favorite. We ain't going down a frame. I'm gonna pause this while we talk. Yeah, like the thing is with the Fiora lane, when she's gonna be naturally winning anyway, it was just an abused matchup. That Meteor already had topside priority. Meteor already shut down mid before it began, and that was helped, like, thanks to Chieftain. I think BLG are a team that really rely on Meteor's momentum to start them, and you can say that about any team with a jungler, but the momentum from Meteor has often pushed BLG in a certain direction. With Kuro, it was like, keep the lane safe, a lot of counter jungling, a lot of counter ganking, which, you know, the first game we didn't see it. We kind of saw the proactive step from Meteor, which is nice. Talking about bans here again. Olaf ban is actually quite prevalent right now. Olaf hasn't been seen as much as I'd expected it to in the LPL. Remember last spring and even summer, Olaf had an over 70% win rate after like 60 games. So Olaf is a fucking huge pick for the LPL considering how much they skirmish here, how much they actually play around like fucking bot side, longer lanes, as well as mid when you consider like skirmishes in the river. Olaf is a great skirmishing jungler. Early game, if we're accelerating games, Olaf is fucking great for this league. And Meteor Olaf, without, you know, not having to say it, is great. But look at what is open. Akali, Rumble. Rumble, you know, becoming an A S tier ban at the moment. With the ability to set up the mid game. The ability to play around Drake fights, hey. Corridors, Rumble. And Olaf can solo Drake. Very nicely done, sir. Olaf can solo Drake. One of the few junglers that can solo Drake on spawn. What is open? Starts with A, ends with Philmios. So, BLG will pick a Philios here. But what I'm curious about is, apart from the Misfortune pick that they'll go eventually, will they shift into the Elise? Yes, okay. Less about the denial, more about the fact that, you know, we're playing around these early skirmishes. Again, I sound like a broken record. iBoy will pick up Misfortune? No? Okay. Mordekaiser right now is busted. That's all I need to say. Mordekaiser feels like... Kiana. Alright. Bot lane set. Remember that Kiana, you're not just picking her for lane as well. You're picking her for the other side lanes and what Kiana can do. Flex between jungle too, don't forget, as Ning actually showed us. So many of the Aphelios in the LPL have been trash. Yes. Except for Kramer. Kramer's Aphelios is great. I'd rate it as the best right now. I'll also say last night, Flandre's set was crap. As Sheen just said, Flex. Forge again. This dude just loves Jays. This dude just loves fucking Jays. Have we seen Kkoma? That's Kkoma behind there, isn't it? There we go. Yeah, eyes on Kkoma. Okay. So at this point, we've already shifted gears because we have an Aphelios in game. And because this time, like, Cube is kind of set up. You know where these side lane picks are going. This is the thing about Vici's draft so far, is that everything is telegraphed. You know where everything is going. However, right now, what are you banning? You're banning the bottom lane. Nautilus a power pick. You could ban Misfortune here. You could ban Senna. Which one do you not want going into Aphelios? I mean, I'd probably go ahead and say that I'd ban iBoy's Misfortune. But we all know that's probably not the case. Gragas against the Elise. Okay, naturally. It's weird not seeing him behind SKT, you're right. You're damn right. FoFo on your screen, by the way. Just get used to his face. But they go for the double support ban. So they're not worried because they know either way they're going to have to deal with Senna or Misfortune. Interesting. So in this bottom lane, when you shift gears into a Thresh, I like the pickup of Xayah. The ability to kind of like counteract the support. I can't... Look, here's my guess. Their pair, Maestro has played so much fucking Rakan in the day. Maestro's probably like, hey man, just pick me up a Xayah. And we'll go Xayah Rakan. You know, it's like my good old days. That makes sense. Camille, as you talked about before, was fucking busted. Camille into Mordekaiser, I don't mind too much, actually. The ability to kind of disengage and walk away from Death's Grasp, but also, like, to be in a Hextech ultimatum inside the Death Realm feels kind of nice. But the ability to teamfight has gone up an extra level. Like, BLG, this looks like a Kuro composition back when ADD was in the roster. When ADD was in here, like, you'd see the Gangplank, you'd see the Camille, you'd see these great side lane threats as well as like team fighting top laners. As we talk about Camille right now, it just feels really fucking good. I'm not going to read too much in the draft. I'm not going to pretend like I'm a fucking god at drafting. I look at that and from first look I go, right, strong bot lane 2v2, ability to kind of counteract the Thresh as well, and the ability to actually take advantage of no mobility on Aphelios. If he gets Blade Called, if he gets Charmed, if he gets Quickness, chances are he's dead. I mean, the Thresh pulls out a hook out of his back pocket. He dissuades one, but not two. So, Meteor jumping on Kiana in jungle this time. I see a bot lane that can be abused. I also see a top lane pre-6 that can be abused. Thoughts? Punish Thresh with Root as well. Yes, faster reduces his space to get free hooks. That's right. This is the big cube game, I believe. Mordekaiser is good. And you know what sucks here? Because Mordekaiser is great and his attack speed, his movement speed, his passive is great, and his abilities do so much fucking damage. He also gets the extra ability to take out a jungler from these early objectives. Another reason why Mordekaiser is so good right now is we're prioritizing comps around objectives. Who else deals with fucking like anti-objective control? What I mean by that is who can control objectives better than Mordekaiser? He ults a jungler and that's it. That's all he has to do. He ults Meteor here. Meteor can't get off his ult. if he preempts it enough, Meteor cannot smite steal or even get the smite down. And you're in a forced 1v1 where, especially against the Kiana, like, the fuck Cube's gonna enjoy the shit out of that. So, ain't a 50-50 if the jungler isn't there, that's right. So there's all these points with, think about right now in your compositions, double checking, think about right now in your compositions, like, what can you build that would help your team around objectives? What champions, rather, can you build into your composition? You look at all the champions, all 10 on the Summoner's Rift right now, do any of them do poorly around objectives? Nope. Not really. Good side lane threat, adds pressure. Objective controllers there. We will try and push through this one. Topside start. So Kiana's gone electrocute here. As you'll know, a lot of the time we do see Kiana's with Predator in jungle. So he's doing the Predator clear. So he's doing full bot side camps. Meanwhile, while Elise has gone red to blue, back to Wolves, back to Raptors. This is a super interesting path from Chieftain. Move bottom left. Fucking hell. God damn it. Right. This is a super interesting path from Chieftain. So the purpose of this, right, if we go back, I want to get more familiar with jungle pathing. There are no wards placed apart from the ward in Pixel Brush in River. Actually, that's not in Pixel Brush, it's a bit lower. So that's to spot out if Chieftain goes for blue, Gromp, then towards bottom side. As you can see, there's a deep ward in the triangle brush here in bot side as well. So, not to spot out Chieftain, excuse me, to spot out if Meteor comes in for the invade or the start of vertical jungling, or goes towards the bottom side. Right, you with me? Chieftain still uses Force does damage this game. What change do you think? Well, could be the champion. But it's also the pressure on the priority, right? So, what I want you to do is watch Chieftain and his pathing. Because this is kind of exciting. Look at where the lane state is for top side. Cube's getting denied CS, but it's slowly pushing against him. Watch where the junglers are going. Meteor's done full red side clear towards bottom. He's then gone up top side, is now on blue, and is ready for scuttle. Chieftain, as Meteor thinks, like he's made the assumption here, is towards the top side. Now, you think as an Elise, you go, right, blue side start into top. We start red pressure, right? So what's the thought here? Raptors back down bot. It's like he's fucking with us and he's trying to fuck with Meteor. And Meteor's made an assumption. You're not backing on a ward there, are you? I don't think he's spotted. Picks up bottom side scuttle. Assumes Kiana's going to be top side. So he's done like a back and forth clear. He's left his Krugs up so he can go straight to top side. And look for the pushing wave, which is now essentially going to be reset the other way. So it's pushing back against, but Elise is in a good position to punish Kingen. Now, another part about Camille, hard to gank, hook shot, wall shot. Can't fight the Elise if she lands good. Yeah, right. Just why the pathing's interesting for the Elise. So, hard to gank. Alright. Kind of an odd game. It's like Chieftain is trying to read where Kiana's going and go the opposite. I mean, that makes sense in a way. It's a very safe clear, yeah. Trying to do the exact opposite. So bot 2v2. We talked about this. Let me sneeze. Thank you. Bot 2v2 as we talked about. You know, pretty standard. The Zyra can't have priority even with Maestro moving towards Dragon. They push out. So Chieftain's on his top side. He's been spotted out by a ward. He's come back with Skirmish's smite. So he could... Okay. That's a good point as well. So that's an adaptation then. So he's been spotted topside. Pressure has to be applied. Like, FoFo has to pay respect. But this time he's a bit smarter about it, right? Roams with Forge once Forge has a pushing priority, and it is a different matchup, mind you, as well. It's not against the Kiana. Like, the Orianna still has heaps of shove. But moves with Forge, sets up Dragon. Elise, as you mentioned, you know, the early power that she provides. Starts Dragon, but remember that Kiana still absolute bitch. Shinmo moves to back away. But there's a lot more respect from him this game. There's a lot more respect from Chieftain played this game. As Clement just said. So he wraps around and then he does it again. He has a much better read on Meteor this game. I think Chieftain's learned a lot. Like, he was god awful. There's no kill threat on Ori unless you misplay your waves, though. Yep. That's true. Like, it's really favored lane for the Jace. Very true. So in that regard, FoFo has played the lane well. I mean, it's, look, you know, I know as well as any that Orianna is, you know, it sucks against Jace, but you can play that lane. You can match that lane, and you can match the shove. Meteor has his red timer. He knows that they're at Dragon bot side. Good read from Meteor. Doesn't have Moby boots. Runs right in. Trades red for red. Now, this is again why Meteor is a very smart jungler. Chieftain doesn't get the read. Meteor gets a full clear. Orianna goes missing. Look at Forge. Forge is like, okay. Raptor's still there. Red probably still there as well. Cube ulted him. He missed the mace, but it wouldn't have made a difference. Feels like he learned don't fuck with Meteor. Is it me push, me pressure with... Oh. Yeah. Which I already knew. Well, I'm very proud of you. Gets everything from topside, then backs, which is the smartest move to head towards bot, and is doing his full clear. Vici then do the same play again. They've done the exact same play 2 games in a row. 2 games in a row, they've done the exact same play. Rotate the bot lane at 9 minutes, straight up to the Rift Herald. Yeah, right. Okay. Thank you, Oshi. Herald goes down, but this time they commit to the lane swap. So iBoy goes top. So they actually commit to the lane swap first. Whereas last time they reset and they went back to their lanes. Stupid hotel tonight. Wanna watch it? Well, unlucky, son. Let's get up to speed. Vici get Herald again. Well, no, they didn't get it last time. What was the difference between game 1 and game 2? So the bottom lane resets as well. But it's the positioning. So it's Meteor's play that's kind of bit him a little bit. He goes back for the clear on bottom side. He goes towards his red, and he's ignoring Herald. They don't have the positioning. They don't have their jungler. Like, it's better from Vici, right? Like, they have more vision control. They've put more priority. Maestro's put more priority on roaming this game. You'll notice that, like, last game, as I said, Shinmo was a level behind of Maestro because he was just roaming so much, but it's been well matched. Also because they have priority in bottom lane. Like, they actually have a winning lane, essentially. So that is the difference, yeah. And the jungle hasn't found a deficiency early. So Vici have set themselves up. This has been a lot cleaner from Chieftain. They can commit to the lane swap because in the 2v1, the Camille doesn't want to be in this lane. Kingen will back, go and match the Mordekaiser. And Vici go in and steal blue because they got priority top side. They've got deep vision. And look at that. Look at that. The Raptor ward that Forge put down a minute ago is paying off. And they're like, okay, he's stayed for his clear towards the bottom side. He hasn't gone top to match Rift Herald. He hasn't even made the move. They go in, they spot him out at Raptors. They get a free blue. So it's not BLG kind of playing down. Well, I would say that Meteor, like, it was kind of, he goes in, he steals red, he clears top side of Vici. He then backs, goes towards Krugs, instead of going straight towards blue. Because naturally Chieftain is going to go towards his top side of red. Herald's also there. I think, just don't in. I think that Vici Gaming, like, fucking did it again. I think Vici, their play was like super telegraphed. It was pretty obvious that it was coming, but give me my time code. This is what happens when you live in China. You have to deal with this shit all the time. All the damn time. Oh no, spoilers. Oh, spoilers. Also, when you don't know how to use a keyboard, that happens as well. And when you're running, hey, I'm running 720 in China. Top notch. Another spoiler for you. Another spoiler. Where are we up to? Okay. So, this is the play we're talking about. Bottom lane rotates. Meteor goes towards his red. If he went topside, far less pressure in his lanes. That's true, but he can't force spot and go top and gets more weight. It's harder for him to gank, but in terms of reading the Herald play, note, he's 6. And we talked about the pressure that can be applied through objectives. After stealing the enemy red and Raptors, he's 6. They reset mid. But FoFo has no mana. Bottom lane rotates up. So the safer play is to let Herald go. No worries, man. Take care. Yeah, potentially. It depends. Depends how they perform against the RNG and the top teams as well. And then they push the advantage further. Vici go into blue. And that's literally all she wrote. So that was a calculated play by Vici Gaming. The ward on Raptors allowed them to do that and push in. So it was smart vision by Forge that has kind of pushed them forward. And you're right, the lane state is very different from the first game. It's literally, again, only kind of Kingen that has an advantage. But I think from Meteor, it's the posturing, the aggressiveness to kind of capitalize, deny blue, be in position for a fight. I mean, FoFo, look, it's easy to get behind him, I'd say, at this point. He's a different laner from Kuro. Kuro is a great team fighter. I'd say FoFo as well, but FoFo's a much better laner, in my opinion. Right, that was clean. 11-minute first blood. Meteor, remember, does have ult. Shockwave combo, overkill, whatever. That's just a mistake from Forge. Forge spotted out uncontrolled. He sticks around to kill it, and he's punished. Right place, right time again from BLG. Okay, that was super easy to land, but again, we talked about the Thresh Rakan interaction, super easy. I think Forge has more impact on Jace. I mean, Forge is like the only person playing Jace at the moment, legitimately. The only person playing Jace is Forge, so far. Okay, well, Vici have bottom lane shoved. They've cleared out vision. They've been smart about this. Even though Forge died moments ago, and even though ults are back up. Okay, stole it. Well, not stole it. He came back in to kill it. BLG posture. Cube has teleport. Ginger land that. Does. Roots him as he goes into repel. Okay. That's fine. I take that. I take the ocean. I for sure take ocean over my jungle death. So Forge hasn't been spotted. Okay. So it's played pretty safe. Again, what are we looking at for items? Pretty much same on 80 carries. Youmu's versus no Ludens just yet, if that's going to be Ludens or the Hose. Warriors, AP. It's just simply about getting the dragon at all costs. Vici back away while their jungler's still there. Experimental. Isn't relevant to very far ahead. It's not 20 CS ahead and 20, so it's not worth, yeah. That's right. You know, Jace is about smashing the fucking lane matchup. It's kind of like when we just saw the Renekton's kind of debuting. And Renekton just won everything. And it was like, oh shit, this guy, oh, like Darius lane. Except there are ways to punish Darius lane. So that Herald expires in like 3 seconds. Okay, well, you got it. Anyway. So Herald was kind of left late. That's because Chieftain probably didn't expect to die. Shockwave was used, except it didn't come up in. Because you can't toggle vision, observers. Thing that pisses BP and I off the most in competitive League of Legends. Look at the vision toggle here. I fucking hate it. Not relevant. Why? Of course he doesn't know. They've got a control ward there. There's no wards. We can see the wards. We're not fucking dumb. So, Meteor has to flash. That's fine. Chieftain can't trade back. These two are like a roaming squad, and Forge is getting punished. Okay, talked about the 2v2. Like, Zyra Khan, but then he moves forward. You see the teleport coming in. So that's a good play to negate 3v2. That's good from Vici. Then gets greedy for the Q, but... Greedy eye boy. It's because I spoiled you. You just expect better. Yeah. Okay, eye boy misses root. FoFo doesn't have Shockwave. They should be aware of the timer. But they're not sure. They're not walking towards him. They don't want to get distanced anyway. Oof. Oof. I want to slow this fight down. Now it seems slow-mo after doing all that. You imagine Shockwave here. So good zoning by FoFo. Chieftain coming in from the back. Meteor and Shinmo are like way too low. Shinmo misses the point blank hook. He couldn't see him, to be fair. No, he can. It's as he came out of the death realm, he threw it. So he threw it like as he came out. So he expected him to be up there. Maestro goes in. But you know what remains the same is that Aphelios won't really die. Jin Jiao zones out. Big fucking fight. That's an F. Deserves all the league observers. Look, I'm not saying the observers are bad. I'm just saying vision toggling is fucking annoying. It's great when you get it right, but it's so easy to make it look shit. Yeah, well said, Clement. Vici overcommitted. They really pushed for that. Alright, let's get through this because I think the learning experience so far from Vici has been coordination. When to go in, when to not. Very simple stuff that BLG seem to have. Alright. They reset. They go topside. Nothing more to be said than that. Second Herald goes to BLG. It's been a much slower game. Even though we had that massive fight. This is nice from BLG, from Vici. You're wondering, what the fuck? Where are they? Get caught out anyway. Bye-bye. I love Shinmo's like... Shinmo pings this as well, look. He's like... Missing? Missing? Oh, fuck. Okay. To tell a story, I need to know each other's tendencies. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't talk to my observers. It's a unique situation where I don't have a relationship with the observers or anyone like that for that matter. Because it's all on the Chinese side. And each arena has different observers, so. Alright, Luden's first item across the board. Camille's close to Trinity. Leandri's first. Okay, Jackie Love meme. Herald used mid. 5 mid. And they don't push up. And the problem is, in terms of range, he's got Crescendum, which means the closer you are to the turret, the quicker it comes back. So from, like, here, it's fucking slow. And you look at their ability to push down that turret. They can't approach it. They've got a lot of melee damage. This is the perfect time to fight. So, remember, with Aphelios, you cast at the Chinese. Yeah, we get a clean feed. With Aphelios, best combo we've seen is Infernum with Moonlight Vigil. That's the ultimate. So what he has right now, Infernum has been the best ulti choice for team fighting. Because remember, every target it hits, it spreads. And it fucking pops. With one item, great. With 2 items, beast. They go straight for the inside track. They get the shove mid, while Vici no longer have vision priority in the river. But I will say, it looks like Vici this time around are committing more to a trade. Like, while that happened, they went through, they went topside, they secured a bit of vision themselves. They're setting up for Baron. Forge in a side lane. Cube, this is good. This is Cube on a carry matchup. It shreds. Yeah. Kingen's frisky, which is good. Uses Hextech Ultimatum when he's out. Now remember, if you use Hextech Ultimatum inside of the Death Realm, I'm pretty sure you're free when you get out, or you just can't see it. It's one of the two. BLG commit to a trade. They see Meteor down the bottom side. They go hard. Simple. They get the turret. Forge can't sway them off it. Mid has so much wave clear with Infernum up. That's fine. Trinity Force for Kingen. They're hitting their spikes. We got one item across the board. We got 2 for iBoy. I want to point out how much iBoy is ahead right now. iBoy's going to be a menace. That's just good warding. They see Shinmo. Now, because Shinmo walks past unscathed. Then gets shock blasted as he walks into the brush. Now, you have to think. That has to be warded somewhere. Or it's a bloody good guess. But because it's in the brush, Jin Jiao thinks he's fine. It's just them checking brushes. And so what happens is, he sees his support walk past his position. And thinks, it's not warded. Does the same thing. I'm going to go drop a ward there. Or my Crescendum turret. And Maestro goes immediately. He has flash. Doesn't get to burn it. Uses heal. That was nice from Vici. It was like, leave the smaller fish and wait for the bigger one to turn up. That was just simple decision making. That was really clean. So props to Maestro for that one. Because that was clean. Maestro. Maestro. Teams prioritizing taking fights when the affiliate doesn't have Infernum. I mean, they are, like, you'll notice timing windows. Excuse me. That was technically one of them, but that was more a pick. But the hardest thing is that it's kind of hard to see. You can't see what their secondary is. So teams can see what you have equipped, but they can't see your secondary. Now, a lot of the time, if they're sitting mid and they're wave clearing, they're going to use Infernum. That's just how it is, because Infernum has incredible, like, fucking wave clear. But it's hard to prioritize your time because it is super easy when you get into the mid game. When you're sitting mid with waves, it's super easy to get rid of Gravitum. It's super easy to get rid of Crescendum. I mean, Gravitum, you need a minion wave. Crescendum, you can just throw out your fucking turret. You can do it at base. You can set yourself up purposely for Infernum. Calibrum is just throwing out Qs. You know, that's it. And then what have I missed? Crescendum, Calibrum, Severum is pressing Q as well. You can do all those without minions. Gravitum's the only one you need minions for. You can set yourself up for the guns you want. Like, there's the ability to... So I'll say this as well. Calibrum and Crescendum is a really good combo for early laning phase and for one-on-ones. Because with Calibrum, you throw your Q, lands, Crescendum's secondary weapon throws the ninja stars. And from an incredible range as well, it's dumb. Oh, no, sorry, Crescendum turret with Calibrum as your offhand. That's what gives you the range. So you look here, and if you're talking about that moment, after that big pick that was really nicely done on Jin Jiao, he goes back, he gets Infinity Edge, but he now has Calibrum and Gravitum. So Infernum and Gravitum, another nice combination in team fights, remember? You can press Q and you can use Gravitum on them all. They have priority over River. After that fight, I kind of favor Vici here. Shock. FoFo needs big shockwave. That's always going to go without saying. Cube can just take the jungler out here. Look at him. Look at him posturing onto Meteor. He's level 14. Out goes Meteor, but what? Hang on. Sorry, what? What? Is that on one? that a 1? Okay. Sure. Oh! Right. Anyway, Vici did posture aggressively. This was Vici's to take, but then Jin Zhao just ults the shred. Dude. Now, that's not Chieftain's fault. Well, probably is. Did he smite? He didn't smite. Probably didn't think he had to. Probably didn't think he had to. 1 HP still. I mean, that feels like it, doesn't it? That feels like it. I'm sorry, I gotta keep alt tabbing. Okay. From here, props to BLG. Double Infernal props, that's fine. You got an Infernal Soul coming this game. An Infernal Soul for this team, with the AoE damage they have, is pretty nice. Do we get a better angle from here? $41. 41. 41. Not 1. He had smite. All his fault. They thought Zyren was enough, yeah. 41. Close to 1. You know what? Still. Impressive as fuck. Impressive as fuck. Okay. So what do you notice here? This is the time I think vision toggling is really important. Vici are playing the dark side of the map really nicely. They've cleared out all wards but 1. They see Eyeboy here. They see him crossing in, and that's when they start going, are they doing it? But it's that ward there that keeps them fine for now. Because even though with that team you could probably start Baron, you need Eyeboy for the Baron. And so they don't overcommit to face-checking Baron. Meteor jumps in, they clear out some of the vision. He hasn't gone for Umbral Glaive as Talia, as, what's her name? Kiana? As Kiana, excuse me. Second in command because it would make him chieftain after this set. He has had a better game this time around, though. I will say he's recovered quite nicely and he's gotten a better read on Meteor. But with the Kiana, she's gone for GA first as her first item out. You look at the burst damage here as well. She needs to get her ulti off, like, no matter what. And because the heavy AD damage in the early game. And because Kiana's going to be destroyed by fucking Xayah. So they've cleared out full vision of the river. BLG have to keep coming in to check. Luckily, they have things like Lantern and Command Attack on the Orianna. Meteor just got smacked. He's got GA and he still got smacked. Forge is huge. Side lane's pushed up. Top lane, they see FoFo. They turn back around, they go Baron. There's no vision here until now. They try to bait them in. You know what they want? They want Kingen's teleport, most of all. Kingen gonna go back to bottom lane. They shove mid. And we do the Baron dance for a little bit. Now, in the 1v1, should be Kingen. Even into the Death Realm, Cube should not win. Kingen's got a level advantage, level 3 Hextech Ultimatum. Cube should be 16-2 as well. He solos Dragon. So Kingen is actually quite massive. He's just been farming all game. He's 50 CS up on his top lane. Eyeboy 40 up on his lane as well, by the way. Bring back Ike's. I still prefer Ike's. That was... Oh. That was beautiful timing from Jinja. Look at this. Wow. That was not... even though he didn't get the kill, you have to respect class. Wow. Holy fuck, that timing was nice. And to be fair, it's, if I would attempt something like that as well. If I knew how to play Aphelios properly, I would attempt that as well. That was nice. And also, look at what it does. So they clear the wave. They push mid. They get the turret. They push Chieftain back. What does that do? Opens up the pit. pushes him all the way back. And look, Kiana knows, Meteor knows he can go in and clear vision. They regain priority in River. Now, they're going to lose that because it's an Elise and Rakan, and they don't know how to deal with iBoy right now. So that, you know, that's going to happen. But they regain priority for a little bit. Vici then go in the back way. That shouldn't be spotted out. Again, command attacked is a great temporary ward. Vici kind of running laps around them. So, what do BLG want to do? BLG want to fight. I feel like BLG, do they win the 5v5 here? Tanasu, let's bring that big brain into action. I feel like now with the Renan's Hurricane on Jin Zhao versus iBoy, Shockwave, it's about the terrain here. In an open 5v5, I'd probably look towards Vici Gaming. In a closed-off corridor in a terrain around the pit, this is why Vici don't want to fight. It makes sense here when you look at the compositions that if Vici fight 5v5 in front of the Baron pit, Aphelios, Orianna, Supreme Display of Talent on Kiana, and the box. If they fight in it, yeah, if they land the Shred combo, BLG all the way. In corridors, in front of objectives, BLG I would take. But Vici Gaming, their ability to continuously fight, their ability to sustain along with, you know, good Ocean, and to come back in. Okay, that's a flash. That's a big flash. They forced them back. They saw Chieftain get low. So how did Chieftain get burnt out? Oh my god. That was one hit. Holy shit. He's got Comet as well, by the way. Ideal engage here as Camille goes in, Ori, Aphelios, and narrow terrain is super scary for Vici with no vision, that's right. Forge just starts chunking here. Yeah, but that was really good from BLG. They're forcing. They're in front of Scuttle, though. So this is when they back out. Now, here's all they want. Clement says this in cast, which is really good. Look. Yeah. All they want is for Cube to teleport. He's burnt TP. Kingen can back. He's picked up a pickaxe. I know it doesn't sound significant. Okay, they just go for Baron. So the players sound from BLG. Kingen has TP. The problem is, they all reset at once. No, they don't. Don't listen to me. They hit mid-wave. Because iBoy's so fucking huge. Meteor comes back in to check it and it's like, oh shit, they're doing Baron. He goes in invis, he throws the ulti out, it hits in the river, and doesn't hit a wall. So, he gets the stun. 3-man stun. Meteor then goes into GA. Okay. Cube big. Notice in that fight. Let's go back. So, Meteor's like, oh shit, I gotta stealth in. I gotta make this fast. He hasn't seen the HP yet. It's already too late. Goes in. E. Ults. 3-man stun. Shinra comes in. Meteor's sacrificial lamb. Cuban Maestro on top of him. Kingen jumps in immediately. Now, this is a big Camille. Boom. Elise is dead. Doesn't matter. What you want is iBoy here. Shockwave forces the ult. Okay. Ult comes out. Maestro has to flash towards his Xayah. Cube trying to hit the backline. But look at Kingen, man. That Camille is the death of them. Onto iBoy immediately. Uppercuts, and that's the fight. As soon as iBoy dies, that fight's over. That fight's done. Doesn't matter what Cube's doing in the back line. Mordekaiser is not big enough to deal with FoFo. Mordekaiser is not big enough to deal with Jin Jiao. He might be huge, but not huge for two huges in one. So that was nice from BLG. It was well recovered. And you know what? Kingen so far has played a fucking great series. Kingen has played a great series. And I was questioning because I wanted ADD. I think ADD had an exceptional 2019. Considering he was the MVP top laner who was back and forth. Kingen is good. They run up mid. That's a great trade for the Baron. And they're going to get an Infernal Soul. So how the fuck did this game go all the way? Infernal Soul. Almost full build Orianna. 3-item Camille with QSS. So I watched all this live. And I still don't understand it. They have full reign because of Dragon Soul. Dragon Soul is like mini Elder. Second turret. Kingen runs mid. They're pushing hard for this inhibitor. As they should. Look at Top Wave. Top Wave is slowly pushing. Right, Kingen resets. Okay, that's what I want to know. So Kingen is now going to leave. Bottom lane's still here. They can stay in this tango for a little bit. Kingen still there. Gets turret, leaves. BLG reset for next Baron. Right. GA here for Camille. We have Edge of Night for Meteor as well. Forge and Cube both hit their power spikes. Well, when you say power spike, look, I mean, Jace still wrecks backline in late game. But Jace 2 items is one of the biggest ones. I mean, you could say Jace 1 item. But there's never going to be a time in this game where I say Kingen loses a 1v1. Both Conqueror top laners. The QSS means he never goes into the Death Realm. He's actually just saved it this whole game. Like, the Cocoon is there as a good variance as well to use it, but... Or Xayah. Or Quickness. But the point is, look. Death Realm. Hasn't used it. Flash forward. Kingen matches the flash. Cube doesn't use the Death Realm. But Kingen is low here. And from memory, this is what happens after a great couple of games. Kingen then goes into jungle while BLG make their way to Baron. He pushes up the side lane. Now, he's at half health. Cube's full. Now, Kingen uses QSS. So what happens on the bottom side is... Yeah, the spike shouldn't come close to 4 Infernals and a Soul. That's right. So, the passive kills him. Cube stays in range and then heals up. Cube almost died. So, that was a really good time Zonya's. Kingen now needs to back away. Look at his path. He backs in a super greedy spot. There's a control ward in Wolves. I wonder if that spots him. But they hit Baron. They see the 1v1 going on. And because of the GA getting burnt, they back away. If Cube dies there, they stay on Baron. Forge then goes for him. Kingen backs super greedy. That's a free kill. BLG like, we have to do Baron. And here's the trade that annoyed me. Because when you have Infernal Souls, fuck Baron. Elder right now is just such a good buff. Is such a good buff. And it lasts for 3 minutes. It lasts the same time as Baron. So why as BLG do you think that's okay? So they were mid. They get shoved. They see wards going over. They actively take this trade. They actively take this trade because to them it is the safer trade. They lose their top laner. Bottom lane's pushing out. it's a 5v4 with a 40-second death timer. They know they can take Baron before anyone gets there. They're willing to take the trade and back away and play defensive with the Baron. But the issue is that now, because Vici have the Elder, they also have themselves close to 5 items. They can match, as we talked about, an open 5v5. So you look at the way this composition works. Maestro can go in. iBoy can follow up with pretty much certain safety. The diving here is pretty fucking insane. This comp can dive. So they threaten. No minion wave. They clear it fast anyway, even with the Baron minions, because iBoy's huge. Infernal lets Vici match their damage output. That's right. And so, because iBoy destroys minion waves, they can hard push mid as a 5-man. The side lanes are not doing them any favors right now, pushing against them. FoFo gets burnt. In goes Maestro. Great flay. Good ult by Jin Jiao. But they got what they came for. They forced out summoners. They forced out ults. Meteor whiffs his ult. Look at this panic ult. He thinks they're going to dive. Now he doesn't have ult. Kingen fucking forces the engage. After having such a good game, these 2 last plays put BLG into a very bad... Yeah, that extra 20% damage doesn't match the execute. No fucking way it doesn't. Look. Good ult. Kingen over ambitious. Hook shot, wall shot. Doesn't have flash. Now gets death grasped in. Ulties immediately. You see the first Elder going down. It's FoFo, look. Because of Forge. And then you know who hits it? Forge does. Because he clicks on him. So Forge sets up this play. FoFo goes in front of Shinmo and in front of Jin Jiao. Now, Jin Jiao, fair enough, but Shinmo is the one who has the Zeeks, who has the QSS, who has the tankier stats. Takes the brunt of Forge, gets executed. Kingen already fucked up. He gets executed. And then they're down 2 members against an Elder team that has 30 seconds to go. Cube's huge. Cube has Death Realm available. Meteor is still squishy. Jin Jiao has to leave. They can't stand up, and that's good night. Because the Zyra Kkoma were in such a comfortable position all game. We got to late game, and big mistakes by Kingen let BLG lose that game. They have 2 open inhibitors. And look at that. Even the background's like, BLG victory? BLG victory, question mark? Even though it was Vici who won. So, Kingen is to blame for that game. You know? Just checking the time. Kingen is to blame for that game. I would say that whole debacle is because Kingen made that mistake in the bottom side. They then traded because they felt like they had to. So the trade itself I don't like, but the thing about the trade I don't like is because of Kingen. So that was a domino effect. Overcrediting Forge because of how well it combos with Elder. I mean, no, like Forge was huge, don't get me wrong. And they were going in. That's another thing about Jace that works really well that I think Forge has a great read on, is because we have compositions that are, you know, like your tank is coming out of support, and because jungle right now is limited to bruisers who play early game really well and can play around these objectives and can also counter jungle, because remember, there's no catch-up experience unless it's epic monsters anymore. So that's Dragon, Baron, Elder Dragon, and Herald. You do not have catch-up experience, so you want junglers who can punish the hardest. Now, BLG threw more than they played well. Very well said. His burst was nasty, but that's because his burst was meant to be nasty. It was because of BLG setting up their side, like misplaying their side lanes, and in the face of Kingen actually kind of misplaying himself and backing greedily, that they lost. Domino effect. BLG should have won that game, but they didn't, and it speaks to Vici that the cleanliness of that game was up. Yeah, buff works with your 4 damage Drakes and Drake damage soul. They should have won that game. 4 Infernals, getting the burst there, plus the execution from Elder, plus the true damage. No way. The game would have been done. So, refresh your minds. Let's go into game 3. It's 3 o'clock, just about. So, I've got 2 hours. So, probably going to finish this game and then review and talk a little bit about BLG and RNG and see how we go from there. So, Rumble, Pantheon, Olaf, like, pretty standard. Aphelios this time taken away by BLG. They kind of prioritize not giving iBoy Aphelios. A lot of teams are happy to ban it red side. Apart from Vici, we've seen let it through, and we've seen... I think Rogue Warriors were willing to let it go. It was kind of weird. Lucian the standard ban. Now, first pick here, after what was a success, is Meteor Chieftain prioritizing the Elise once again. Natural matches to Kiana. We got no subs, by the way, so same rosters. They yeeted it to Vici. Yeah. I mean, Oriana was already doing that damage, so... Okay. So that's an Aurelia blind. Like, you probably assume that Meteor's going to be taking Kiana again, but this is the beauty about Kiana is a flex. 80 carry makes sense. I mean, you go for Leona over the Nautilus, which is actually available. So, remember that as well, that like, as a small taste, a lot of supports, I assume, would prioritize Leona into a Kiana than a Nautilus. Think about how that combo works, and think about how much nicer it is, where Leona with Zenith Blade can actually follow Kiana. I know it's a small touch, but it's something interesting to note. LeBlanc. So, assuming running LeBlanc into Aurelia. Yeah, okay, well there's the Nautilus ban anyway. Which means we got Brom still up and available. Which means, look, I mean, they could run Brom into Leona. That's fine. Kiana can literally go anywhere topside. That's true. That's very true. The Renekton, yeah, is a lane for Cube. They're not worried about banning the Ornn. First pick for the bottom lane is just, look, could be Brom. I mean, like, that's what I was going to say. It's probably just going to be Brom. Thresh also works here. Brom has been fucking rising through the ranks. You just are her as naught, poop soon viz. Yeah. I don't know. Could be personal preference. I mean, look, at the moment, both ST supports Leona, Nautilus. Brom is, I'd call S tier as well. The trifecta of 80 carries and supports. Misfortune, Senna, and, help me, Aphelios. I said Aphelios. Aphelios, Senna, and Misfortune. In circles I go. Leona, Nautilus, Brom. And this is just going back to essentially what they tried in game one. Cube on weak side. Set up for Forge. It's funny that Forge doesn't play Ornn, isn't it? But then look, this is like, this is an interesting response because if you're running GP into Ornn, I would say fuck it, run Klepto. Soraka for meta. I would say fuck it, run Klepto. But you know what the problem is? We don't have Klepto anymore. We don't have Klepto. Omnistone. Man, imagine. This is the kind of lane that you would run, or you'd run Klepto into. Remember that back in Season 9, lanes like this were the lanes where you'd run Klepto, so, or like Scion. Easy lanes that were melee that you could get away with. But, Grasp. Okay. So now, so what do you think of Aurelia and LeBlanc? Because for FoFo, I favour this matchup. Well, not level 1, that's for sure. Oh, never mind, level 1 for sure. Alright, jungle start. Where we at? Safety ward put by BLG, River towards Raptors. No aggressive wards placed by Vici Gaming. I want to see what Chieftain does again with his Elise. He's gone to Gromp this time. Remember, he started red last time, so he started blue. Klepto, Carl, Cash Money, GP, yeah. So he's done a full clear on blue side. Early push here from the Kaiser Leona. Alright. That's a full clear coming from the Kiana. So Meteor up to red. Elise has already done red on the bottom side. But look at that ward. That's an early place ward here from FoFo to ping out the crossover into River. Spotted now. The assumption is that Meteor is towards the top side. But like, there's nothing for Chieftain to take. Simply mirroring the scuttle take. Top side taken. Meteor's going to go for the ward here. Doesn't run into cube. Instead of running right into lane. Well, I guess because GP's there, stuck against the turret. He just wanted to let cube know he's there. He did the old peekaboo. LeBlanc wins early if no misplay. Aurelia's Aurelia, if she gets ahead, she gets fuck you no matter who. PTA Aurelia here because you have some serious bursts for LeBlanc. Yeah, and PTA Aurelia came in last year as well. Surprised that Forge has gone for Conqueror. But I mean, this is a late game scale. This is a scale fucking team. Late game Aurelia with Conquerors is a feels good. So, yeah, okay. I wasn't certain about the matchup because part of me always thought it's LeBlanc over Aurelia. But I've just seen so many of the matchups go pear-shaped. It's one of those matchups where it's like, you can put in skill-based matchup, but to what degree? Chieftain spotted here on a ward. That's Ghost Ward. Huh. Okay. Kingen lets that happen. But to what degree? What is the purpose of that play? Because meanwhile, this is the jungler's first back. Elise heads straight top side. Bottom side here for the Kiana. Like Aurelia with Ornn upgrade, that's right. Kingen walks back in for the minion. Now, is that worth the HP trade, or would you not care? We got teleport. He's gonna TP back into lane. Spots out the control ward left by the Elise. But doesn't kill it. Goes back to wave. Okay. I guess you don't care if you're Kingen. That's fair. This is a game where Forge ults in the wrong direction like 3 times. Oh, you shouldn't say that. You shouldn't say that. Just waste jungler's time. Yeah. Also another good point. This is nicely set up. Shinmo roams again. Shinmo spotted on a ward. Kiana sitting on a ward. Wait. Was that just really dumb from Forge? They know Shinmo's here. Meteor also spotted out on a ward. There's a ward there. Does it expire? No, Kiana kills it. And they also saw the scrying bloom go over the ward. They know Meteor's there. They know Shinmo's there. And he takes the trade because he knows Chieftain's nearby. Chieftain flashes, tries to recover the play. So this time in the mid lane, it's Forge. Well, hang on. There's pings going down saying that Meteor is in the mid lane. Might have been tied. Yeah, it was pinged out. They know Shinmo's there. That was just really dumb from Forge. And Chieftain's here coming around with Wolves, like, trying to help him. So that was really dumb. That was actually a really bad move from... Ornn has some good base damage, doesn't he? Doesn't flash. But now he's used everything. Okay. Oh, he probably wasn't dead. Look. Has heroic charge. He's good. But the TP here. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, my God. So the TP would have been justified if Chieftain's nearby. But even then, that's so dangerous. Barrel hits. He's gonna try and kill Kingen, but he goes... Cube's like, what do I do, man? What do you want? That was a question. At least Vici, like, ignore Forge. Let's get Infernal, you know? Small brain. Oh my God. So Forge is already a big question mark this game. Right. Now, FoFo roamed up. FoFo got the kill before. He doesn't care that he's behind 10 CS. GP's ahead in his lane because, of course, it's an Ornn. Already, BLG are up 1,000 gold because of 2 misplays from Forge. Forge has given over 1,000 gold worth of resources, including his death and including the farm in the top side, where Cube had to pay respect anyway, but probably could have caught his wave. So, it's like he spends his whole game thinking that BLG won't be able to punish him. Well, yeah, I don't know. Hold my int. So, I've just taken my eyes off jungle. I don't care about jungle anymore. I care about what Forge is going to do next. So FoFo gets stunned. This is good from Vici. I don't want to see that missed ult again, but I will. Good response here. Now, this is an adaptation that I want to talk about. Do you remember Vici Gaming, Game 1 and Game 2? 9 minutes on the dot is when they're heading towards Rift Herald. Maybe a bit before the dot. Like 8 minutes 50. They back like clockwork and they head towards topside for Rift Herald. Forge says, we can get the play. So does Maestro. That's Maestro pinging, who's been trying to match the roams all game. He then moves to mid. Now, granted, FoFo has pushed up. But no warding there in Pixel Brush. Maestro doesn't see jungle support. No pings go down. They tunnel vision on FoFo. Gauge is fine. But they have a horrible read on where jungle is going to be. Forge. Understandable to a degree. Then BLG respond. Maestro has to flash. He should be dead. And so this is part of BLG reading the play before it's begun. It's not the vision that spots them, because BLG don't have any to spot this play coming. It's them reading that every game Vici Gaming go to Herald at around the 9-minute mark. They see bottom lanes left. Jin Zhao and Shinmo back equally quickly this time as well. The lane dynamic is very different, but timing is timing, right? It's Leona, at least they should catch, not match. Yes. And this is part of the catch. BLG, to their credit, match. And around Herald... No, I think Cube's fine here. Like, he flashes, but all in all, the play from Cube is not bad. It's not the worst. Better than Forge. Good catch. FoFo finally gets punished. Has flash up, uses it, dies over the wall. Shinmo wasn't expecting that, otherwise he'd jump in front and put out his shield. Good recovery from Jin Zhao. What's Forge? Let's watch Forge. That's my only focus now this game. They're low from the GP barrel. That was a nice 4-5 man barrel from Kingen. They jump onto Kingen, but that's Forge, isn't it? And then Forge jumps onto Kingen thinking that the rest of Vici are going to jump in, and that's just... And there's the lack of communication that we talked about in Game 1. Comes through again. When Vici team fight, it doesn't look coordinated. Cube was doing his own thing. Chieftain and everyone else found the pick, and that's great. That's some of the comms that like I look forward to. But then the rest of the fight, they don't know what they're doing. Is Forge going in? Like, what is Forge doing? And you'll see here as well, like, the setup was for iBoy. Meteor kind of outplayed it too. But then they're scattered. And my concern with Vici is this, that on paper, they have the skill. But as a new team, synergy in the LPL, as Clement has said many times, and I have always agreed, synergy in the LPL is massive. Synergy is so important. And right now, I don't think Vici have any. Okay. Okay. That's nice. I mean, it's more the proactivity we need to see. Better late than never. The GP's already 30 CS ahead with Trinity Force, though. So he'll just run back to lane. Meteor can't always be there, because meanwhile, BLG got Rift Herald. They're 3k gold ahead. They're going to push bottom turret with full plating available. Forge is like, do I walk up to this lane? Ah, yes, someone's nearby. I can do that. And Vici are having to take these small trades on the map to pull themselves back into this game. But you know what? Cost of the play top, timing, resetting, all a big factor. Mountain Dragon. Okay. Ocean Dragon for Vici this game. If they got Ocean Dragon Soul, oh yeah, that'd be nice. That's a good pick. So, Chieftain has really recovered in this series. I think Chieftain has made himself into a believer of me in the future. Chieftain looks like he's telegraphing a lot of these with Maestro. Uses Mobies till he gets hit. And that was just, yeah. Again, they think they have their jungler nearby. They think they're fine. But that was just silly. Lol. Did he get that? Did he get that? Oh, iBoy got it. Nicer. Huh. But having said that, FoFo making some interesting plays. Sees they're there. Pushes forward. They have no vision in their red side jungle. No one's on the map. Just kind of dumb. This is kind of dumb. Would be huge soul, yeah. Ocean for this team of Vici would be great. So, the thing about FoFo this game is, I hate it, but he can keep making these mistakes, really, and it doesn't matter. GP and Misfortune are fucking huge. And the LeBlanc will find his way. Because, let's be honest, Forge set this game up for BLG to spike it down. Having said that, though, if FoFo keeps feeding, if FoFo keeps making these kind of dumb moves, then BLG are going to be in some serious trouble. Now, what's up? Ocean in first Ocean in 2. Baron in 4. Pushes mid for Vici. GP uncontested in the side lane, but Cube has caught up, which is nice. So remember, I'm not concerned about the items for Ornn. I'm always concerned about the levels. So catching up in levels is always good. Now, Cube here thought he could actually take this fight, but even with Call of the Forge God, I would turn it right back around to Kingen. Maybe not. This is why I'm play-by-play, isn't it? Huh. Now he's fucking... Look at this toy gangplank go. Good dodge, but... Maestro. Thumbs up. Like, I see you. Yeah. Ornn can trade back with Iceborne quite well. Quite fucking well, eh? Still concerned that at least I'm still online. At least stream's still working. Alright, so Cube gets a level off that. Remember, level's important. So, we're looking for 13, 14, 15. Especially with the Trinity Force still not complete. We want upgraded Trinity for Aurelia. I feel like the bonus of Ornn as well, as a quick discussion to pause. The bonus of Ornn as well, don't forget, is the fact that when people are behind, if your Ornn is keeping up in lane, or at least if your Ornn is like trailing levels on his top lane, in fact, he's even ahead here. The Fioris gets bailed out. Trinity Force upgrade is magnificent. I know, I can't remember the stats off by heart, but you get the extra gold when you are behind in gold. So in fact, Ornn brings you into this game. Now he's up in CS by about 15, but he's behind the kill, and the team generally is behind, only by a little bit now. Cube caught out here. Okay. That was really nice, because they snuck in. Oh, that was... Oh my god. So... So they see Maestro move down. It's the ward, control ward that's taken here that spots out 2-3 people. Now, Meteor and FoFo in this play, instead of contesting the dragon, they say, let's get Forge. Because they know the push-up's coming. And look, sorry, let's get Cube. And they know that Cube is not going to keep hitting that turret. Especially when, look at the dark side of the map. This is why vision toggling again. Good moment here. Dark side of the map around blue buff for where BLG are. They hop over the wall in the blind spot of vision, because that control ward sees up to here. They hop in through here. Cube doesn't expect him here. They're going, what the fuck? Then the rest of BLG come in. This is really smart play. Right, let's walk through all of this. BLG don't want to touch the dragon yet. Kingen has teleport, but no cannon barrage. But he's walking down. Cube pushes the wave up, and naturally you're expecting he's going to join the dragon to add pressure for the rest of Vici Gaming. And also with Call of the Forge God almost up, he's going to be ready to team fight. Aurelia's not there yet. Moving in though. Going to be spotted over this control ward, but that's not relevant just yet. BLG, with their cheeky little hop over the wall that you see on the mini-map down there, that is control warded out so they know it's not warded, they start with Cube. Cube doesn't think they're there. Gets surprised, ignited, dies to FoFo. Then the second part of the play comes in. Meanwhile, while this starts, at the exact same moment, Shinmo stops. Waits. Pops out as Cube starts getting hit. Their focus is there. They then come back in. They're at Dragon at 1500, so this is perfectly timed. Double up. Ulti. They still lose the Dragon. But the attempt is fucking smart. So even though the jungler can't get in because they're getting in the play, they're still happy to make the attempt at Chieftain at the Dragon and still manage to pressure out Vici. That was just fucking clean. And I know it's reading into something that isn't, you know, like the ultimate play, but that could have just as easily been taken away by the Make It Rain from Jin Zhao. Like, that was nicely done by BLG. And that's why we call them the smart team, or the smartest team, rather, because they make these calculated plays every once in a while that go, well, this works because of this, and this works because of this. Jin Zhao and Shinmo built off the momentum of the bottom lane pick, came on in, and BLG could have just as easily collapsed. If, say, Cannon Barrage was available, that's the next level of that play. So they get the pick. Cube is taken down a step once again. And more resources are put onto the LeBlanc. Right? So you can see how BLG are transitioning this game. Playing around the LeBlanc, the Kiana, the pick is there. Because the side lane's already set up in GP. Another side note. That is the first time we've not seen 2 Rift Heralds in a long time. But that is like... That's a play, right? So, BLG are once again up in gold. Ornn's having a good time by himself. He's got both his upgraded items because he's level 13 now. So he's got the Frozen Fist and... I forgot what the Sunfire Cape turns into. He's actually doing okay in the side lane. But Meteor and FoFo are roaming around. They're roaming around together. So, Ocean game. Vici get the first one. That's nice. They've got their eyes set on that. Like, the dragon for them is such a good condition. It paces the game out for them and gets them towards that fucking late game that we talked about. And there's a pause. Okay. Meteor, by the way. FoFo. Big bad eye boy. So, as we get stuck on Kingen for a second. Are we back in? I think we're back in a sec. Yeah. Now, what do you do if you're Vici? You push out your side waves, you clear out vision around Baron, you control it, and you stop BLG from forcing this objective or forcing the picks. Vici can play this slow. While BLG can to a degree as well, it's going to be harder for them to execute the later this game goes. So that's why, like here, Kingen is going to be content on pushing this out. Letting BLG push out to the river. And Vici stopped that. Vici have meanwhile set up. Reset at good timing again. So Vici have improved with this series, mind you. They've set up timing really nicely for the next dragon. But they have... Oh! They have... lost priority mid. And when the wave goes down... That control ward doing dividends, by the way. Stop them having fun, yeah. Control ward there. They make the assumption no one's there. They clear that. They see FoFo. They see Shinmo. Flash in. Easy execution. The ult doesn't hit the wall. Doesn't need to. Now, having said that, Cube is a tank. But they've lost their damage. Because who got engaged on, ladies and gentlemen? Who was it? Have a look. Eyeboy is dead. Call the Forge God was great. FoFo then can jump in. Soulflow did do a lot. And like the beauty of this is that Vici Gaming actually could have turned that fight, but Meteor found that pick onto Eyeboy, and then it's like, well, the Kaiser that's been quietly farming the whole game, who is now 3 items, is irrelevant. Stunned, ult, layered, they used a lot for that, but they had to. And like, look, Chieftain does a bit of damage, so does Forge. Forge actually tries to salvage this game. Sorry, this fight. Can't kill Ginger. Because at that point, you need Eyeboy as well. Like, he did 348 damage. Yeah, dude, the dude got rammed. And so now we reset. BLG have found the first really big team fight here in the game. One of. And then now it's like, okay. Baron time. Dragon's not up for 330. They've delayed this game out even further, which again, Vici probably not too disappointed about, but it's going to be much harder to fucking get through this GP in the side lane, who's now got Essence Reaver and BF Sword. Okay. It seems to me that now Vici really respect the BLG engage. Sorry, the fucking... the assassination. FoFo's a pain now. Ooh, Kingen. Kingen set this up. FoFo follows. Chieftain almost caught. That's jungler weak. BLG play it super safe though. They're not going to go to Baron. They're not going to force Baron. Even though, if you look at Baron, there are no wards around the pit. So they could have just gone into Baron and forced it. They did not. They themselves reset. They pick up blue. They go through the motions and they return. Because BLG or that team are like, instead of trying to force the, you know, maybe the riskier play, we're going to keep it super safe. We're going to go back on our gold, pick up our items. Like, look, there's 3 items on the Misfortune. There's almost... the Infinity Edge is coming next on Kingen. So they're like, we'd rather get the extra damage for the next fight and play it safe. They commit hard here. Maestro flash Zenith Blade. Misses. Cube hit on the backside. And you can just see one mistake from Vici Gaming at this point of the game. And BLG's comp takes over. But GA. So look how far he went for GA. Forge hits his ult. That's good. This is a good catch by Chieftain. Repel immediately. They follow up. But then Forge goes in when he has GA. Ult hits. 2 members punished. Forge had a good start to that fight. Jumps in. When Forge God probably kills him. Now Forge is too far forward and he has to get out. 3 people of BLG are there. Kingen's coming. Meteor respawns. Jumps away. Forge is there. Jin Xiao, nice ult. Cleans up 2 with the help of Kingen. They run forward. And Vici pretty much give over Baron. Because they lose the fight right in front of Baron. So. There you go. That's literally Baron. So. Forge has a start to this fight, which I would be proud of. Good ult. Flash ult. Goes in. Then the problem is, they have the information on where BLG are, but he goes in anyway. At this point, if you don't kill Meteor, I think you need to leave. The rest of your team aren't there. The inside track to that position is owned by BLG. And you've given up Baron because of it. And because of it as well, you lose another person. So, now Vici are at a point where it's not going to really come down to late game because like BLG are looking to end this within the next 8 or so minutes. But even then, we get to late game. It's going to take a while for like Vici to kind of catch up with items. We got the Trinity Force upgrade on Aurelia, because remember, I was talking about the item discrepancy makes up for it when you get the Ornn. But this Baron, like, on this comp, is going to do heaps. Like, shit. FoFo has 3 items, is a menace. And Iboy has no MR right now. He has no armor, no MR. Barrel, Q. Iboy set packing. That opens them up for double inhib. That was a really good Baron. Like, that's a clean, crisp Baron from BLG. They used it all. They're set up for the Ocean now. They're set up for the Ocean Soul. And Vici are like, well, we can still fight. But, I mean, I think at this point, they've lost so much with the inhibitors that they think they need to fight this one. But look at this. Burnt out before they start the barrels from Kingen. Ult goes right into the middle. Forge God blocked. In goes Maestro. Because he's like, I'll stop them. Stops himself. FoFo goes over the wall, takes out the jungler. Meanwhile, here goes Forge. So Forge is here. I don't know, man. I think Forge had a decent game one. I mean, maybe... No, sorry, decent game two. This is over. I mean, it's already over. iBoy has to try and delay them somehow. He did. But... couple of key mistakes from Vici that make them not worth... That background is shit for the victory screen. We need to fix that. You can't see victory over BLG. I think to me, like, BLG is more about tweaking. Vici's more about defining. Vici doesn't seem to have trust in each other at this point in the game, whereas BLG have already built that. And I'd be curious as to what Vici looks like with Ike's. I don't know. I think part of the issue was Chieftain. Part of the issue was with the mistakes that Vici Forge played in Game 3. Like, he had a terrible start. And the start of these games, it seems like Vici aren't able to recover. Vici aren't able to, like, play out their lanes and recover in fights. Because, you know, team fighting with Vici Gaming. Team fighting with Vici Gaming does not look like a strong suit. Like, at all. Team fighting with Vici Gaming does not look strong. And iBoy is not a bad team fighter. But the solo lanes are the problem. Even though Cube has good moments, he's still fresh. Kingen looked fucking great. FoFo had errors, but then recovers. The problem with Vici Gaming is it doesn't seem like they recover from their errors. Once they fall down, they stay down. But the point of this was to look at BLG and see how they will go tonight against RNG. The reason I went 2-1 against RNG, as in 2-1 BLG, is because the solo lanes look fucking amazing. And Meteor versus Xiaolongbao, I actually favor Meteor in the matchup because the dude's got a great head. Like, he's a very smart jungler who can play around the strength of his side lanes and trust that bottom lane will just go even or find their own way. The amount of times you saw Meteor in the bottom lane that series was like once. And that's because there was so much pressure built up by the side lanes that I think Meteor has just got his head in the game and he's right. You know? Team farting, am I right? Ha ha ha. Yeah, sure. I'm with you. But I don't know, I'd look at that VOD and just say that, you know, BLG in game 2 that should have been a closer. Kingen made mistakes. He seems like a high octane player. But I would say that this is a very strong top. And I think BLG are looking stronger than last season, even off that first series, even after that mistake in game 2. If this is a BLG that tweaked themselves, top 4 easily. And against RNG, I think today, especially when I don't expect Uzi to be playing, I'd easily put BLG